But I feel like one thing that I had that a lot of people don't have is, even though I had a lot of experience seeing the stuff that happens in our communities, I also had access to the other side. You know, I got to see what was possible. You know,
How'd you do that?
my father and my mother, they divorced, and when they divorced, my father was living in a separate place than my mother, and my mother was the one that was living in the hood. You know, my dad was living in a, I guess, middle class kind of. We're still poor, but he was still living in a middle class community, and I would go back and forth. You know, and you know, I had a friend up the street who had everything. He had, you know, the almost like the Legos with the big house and the train going through the, you know, the Christmas tree and like all that stuff. And I used to look like, man, I remember one time I went and I was eating at their house and I sat down, and then, you know, after eating, I was gonna get up, and then his mother's like, wait, where you going? Like, it's time for dessert. And I was just like, what? Dessert? Like, I never ate dessert with my parents, ever, you know? So I was just like, what? Y'all eat dessert? Like cookies and brownies came out. I was just looking like, man, this is crazy. I want this, you know? So going back and then now seeing your mother eating, you know, cereal for dinner, you're like, nah, we're not doing this, you know? But then other moments happen where, you know, the moment that you referenced earlier where a neighbor got killed, I was actually doing some promoting, passing flyers out of the club or something. And, you know, we used to get paid like $100 or something to do that. I was coming home and, you know, we used to live in this efficiency condominium on the 3rd floor. And I see the door open, somebody sticks his head out, he's got a hoodie on, and he closes the door, and I already know what that means. So I like tuck in my chain, take off my watch, put my watch in, and I walk through the door real quick, and there's 3 guys with a hoodie on. And then I like see them, and I'm like, I nod my head like, what's up? And none of them say what's up back to me. So that's when I knew. I was like, all right, you know, and I ran all the way up the stairs real quick and ran into the apartment. But I'm like the king of running silently with, like, I'm the king of that. Like, so I did it really fast. I got in there, I closed the door, and I'm looking at the peephole. I see, and I'm just sitting there, my heart's beating really hard. And I'm like, all right. And I just wait, and I don't hear anything. So then I'm just like, all right, I just go, you know, go to sleep. And then like in the morning, boom, 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 police officers knock on the door and they open up. I open up, halfway asleep, and they're like, you know, did you hear the gunshots? And I was just like, what gunshots? And I look next door, and you know, they got like tape all over and on the walls, like blood. And you know, you're looking like, what? Like, was that supposed to be me? You know, what happened? And at that moment, my relationship with the police kind of just was different too, because I'm thinking like I saw something. And they didn't even care really what I saw. They really just going through the motions and asking me just because they're supposed to ask. They didn't really care, you know. And now after they leave, we're still there. Whoever came and did this is like still knows. And I was just like, you know what, this is, you know. And my mother, she's like one of these people. She's like the nicest person in the world. Like one time I gave my mother money, and she like went and gave it out to like kids in the street for like she's like that. You know, she doesn't need it. She doesn't want it. She like tries to take her money and go to Africa and build wells, all kind of stuff like that. So she looks at humanity in a positive way and always sees the bright side of it, you know? So I was just like, nah, we got to get out of here, you know? And it was just something that just lit that, you know?
The thing I find so interesting about people that